We can never try. Continue. Okay. I pray that our blessings will touch us and reach us. Negativity will be far from us. Headphone. 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 No headphone. I'm trying to get my headphone. Maybe it will be more louder. I pray that prosperity and happiness will be our lot. Negativity is going about the whole earth. I pray that it will not touch us. I pray that Ori will continue to exonerate us and lift us up.
Ashe.
The Odu Edimeji continues. We continue with Edimeji today. In Ifa, we will say Edimeji because Edi in Yoruba language is our buttocks, our bottom that we sit. We used to sit down. We always pray because Idi means sitting or something that we used to sit. When something is settled, it will be sitting on comfortably. Something that is settled will be sitting comfortably. And it will be permanent there. It doesn't wiggle or move about. I pray that we will have a place to settle in our life, that our home will continue to be a home of peace, a place where we have peace of mind, where we have good things flow to us. Idimeji, that's the two Idi, is enough for its owner to sit and be comfortable. I pray that we will be comfortable in our life. The Odu Edimeji is the fourth in the hierarchy of the Odus. Edimeji is a very strong Odu and is an Odu, according to some of the readings from Osamaro. Edimeji was a fighter, a wrestler in the spirit world. And because nobody can just pin him down, he was just above all in all tasks of battle. So he was very proud and it was very pompous. So many of the deities, all the deities, they are not too fond of him. But Ogun and Shango were very fond of him. They like him. So when we cast a image, we know we are going to, when you see a image, you know, offering is going to go to Ogun, offering is going to go to Shango. Because when he was born, he came to earth with the tools, the furnace blast, where that the blacksmith people use. He came with that. He also came with a thunder stone. We usually find that thunder stone anywhere the lightning strike and hit the ground. You go and dig the ground there and we find it. We usually find them on the farm. So when we go into the market, there's a way we test it to make sure it's actually a true thunder cell, which we put a little stick of broom on it and it will turn on its own, naturally. It must wiggle. Then we know it's a thunder cell that is found on the ground inside the farm. And when people find it, they usually take it to the market and sell it or use it. So Edimeji was born with these tools. I'm trying to put my headphone in now. Can you hear me? Hello? It's better. Okay. Now, when we cast we didn't learn too much about what he did in the spirit world, but most of his work on earth, because by the time he came on earth, he wasn't, according to Osamaro, he did not do lots of work until he became very old. He was very poor. But by the time he got old and people got him back because they think he was just a madman, and then later they realized because of what he did, the work he did, he was able to really manifest his work. And most of his work were done with other Awo who are doing work with him. So, and when we say other Awo who doing with him, because it's very important in the tradition of Ifa. That's why here we don't individually give Ifa, initiate somebody. You always have many other Awos present, especially when we're even doing our annual ceremonies where you're going to cast Ifa for the year to know the Odus that is guiding you for the year. You will have many Awos present who are going to, one person will be the officiating priest, and the other Awos are going to be the ones giving the stories of Ifa and about the Odus that they can remember and relate the stories that relate to the Odu that was casted, so that the officiating Ifa will have many Odus from different Awos, and then from all those Odus, he will prescribe the offerings and sacrifices and the airbos, so that we can gain from other people's knowledge. We always encourage, I mean, it is the norm that you have other Awos visiting other Awos, getting divination, getting the divination interpretation from many other Awos. That's how we learn and gain. According to Osamado, you see all the different stories of what, when he writes the Odus, he will write different things that happen. All those come from different Awos. Most Awos might know maybe 3 or 4, 5 or 6, even 10, but in some you will see that he wrote close to 15, 20 sometimes, because we all learn from different interpretation, different stories, which all still amount to the same thing. Now, according to the Odus, when we cast a Dimeji, we know that this person might need to settle down. If a person is not living in a town where they were born, we will tell them it'd be better for you to go and live in the town where you were born, so that prosperity might reach you there. Now, there are many. I got another book, but the book is written in Yoruba from Baba Agbola. The book was written by his own father. Agbola is the Araba of the town of Oworonshoki in Lagos, and is the head priest of a church of Ifa in Lagos. He's traveled worldwide. He travels to the Americas all the time. I just traveled to Lagos, and I got the book from their temple. But the book is written in Yoruba because it was written a long time ago, and also reading it to get some interpretation of the Odus. You know how Osama wrote? What the reason why I use Osamaro is because Osamaro does not talk just the Odus. He talks about why that Odu is interpreted that way. For example, is in the first part of the Odu Edimeji. He said Edimeji was the one that divined for Ode, which means the outside. He said the outside had 3 wives: play, pleasure, and dance. They were his wives. But after a long time, these wives see that Edimeji is poor. He doesn't have money because these are the odus. This is because Edimeji did not do his proper offering. In all aspects of Ifa, we know anybody that's living right and living truly and is initiated fully into Ifa will not be lacking. They will not be lacking in anything. Because Ifa has taught us to be, to persevere, to have patience, to Ifarada, Ifarada is perseverance, patience, to ní sùúrù, to have ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́, which means we must be with gentle. We must be gentle. We must be able to take things as they are and not think otherwise. Because anything that happened to us is never going to be the end of the world, no matter how, no matter what happens. That as the sun comes up in the morning and sets in the evening, the world, the earth is always changing. As the seasons comes from spring and it goes turns into summer, into autumn, and then fall, whatever, and then winter, any conditions that we are in will soon change. If we can persevere. Because of that, anybody that has Ifa must always be cautious and must always be mindful of those things that I know that this condition will soon change, no matter what. That I will overcome this, that it will not be the end of me. Because I am destined to live certain life and that life must be totally fulfilled. That we are destined to live long and those who live long on earth are the ones that enjoy the blessings of this earth. Because of that, things will soon change. Now, Edimeji's wife, they play Ire, pleasure, Oyin, at Ujo, dance. These three wives were not content with their husband, so they left him. After a while now, Edimeji went to Ifa. When the divination was made now, his own Odu came up. And the Awo told him, go quickly and make offering. And that's what he did. In the offerings, he was told to give one goat, a he-goat to a shoe. And he did. A shoe, anytime we cast and you want to truly, that's why if I will support, or if I will support us even, and in Romanes, 201 deities will support us even more. If we are allowed to make the offerings that are actually prescribed. If you make actually offerings prescribed by Ifa or by the Awo, once it comes out of the mouth of Awo, it becomes an action. When you make it in full, magically we get the result that we deserve. Now, Edimeji did give a he-goat to Eshu. Eshu will turn the one that turns every problem into blessings. Eshu also turns all things that are good and turns them into bad if one refuses to offer. As soon as Eshu got his goat, he goes about to change the destiny of Edimeji from poorness and penury into richness. For him, listening to the advice of the Awo, who told him he must make a second goat, kill a second goat for Ifa, and use that goat to cook food and feed people, and make sure he does it in front of his house, outside of his house, not inside, so that everybody in the community can come and eat, which is what Edimeji did. On that day that he decided he's going to cook, pray to Ifa and use the meat to feed the people and make a feast, Eshu went about and started going to each one of his wives to tell him, he shouldn't have left this man. You think he was poor? Do you think a person who is poor will be able to feed people? He said, go to his house right now and see how many people are eating and feeding at his house. As soon as they hear this, they all ran there. He went to each one of them, and they all went there and be with him. They saw everything. They realized, oh, we shouldn't have left him. That is how they all came back. Up to today, that is why it is outside is where people play, and they have pleasure. And when they dance, they feel good. That is how Edimeji becomes prosperous again. If I said anybody will cast Edimeji for that person, they will become prosperous. If that person, he also divined for peanuts to have peanuts is groundnut, peanuts to have many children. They only took him out to the farm to wash his head, and after he made his offering, and from there, he become to have children in hundredfolds. When you put one seed of peanut into the ground, when it start to grow now, in the same ground, you have many, many children just coming out of the ground. Idimeji divine for the peanut. Idimeji is the one that told us, according to Ifa, how the sperm and the ovaries began to have children, and we continue to multiply on earth. Because at the beginning, the Odus tell us our sexual organ was in our head and we don't have any use for it. It should taught humans how to use it. Taught us how to. Edimeji talked to us about how children came about. Edimeji, when we cast Edimeji, we will say we are going to prosper in the city. I pray that you all prosper in the city because you are living in the city. It is in the city that Egungun came and became prosperous. Igboro Motiala. In the city, I will blossom in prosperity. Sometimes some people are destined to be in the city while some are destined to be in a small community. Those who live in the city, if they have Ifa and they're living right, they must prosper because there's many people in the city. If you have business, many people are coming to patronize you. Unlike those who live in a small community like a village or a hamlet, we have very few people are living there. So living in the city has significance in your life. To pray and understand through these odus that it is significant to know Ifa and knows the meaning of his odus and use it in prayers so that you can get the blessings of being in the city. Edimeji is also divine for the cripple and a blind man who regained their sight once they were able to do the offerings. It is through this Odu that we learned that, which I do all the time in Canada. In Canada, if I prescribe that we give a goat to Eshu, I always use the pigeon or a rooster and put this broken skull of a he-goat on Eshu. But when I come to Africa, I always make sure I feed Eshu he-goat all the time, because I am making a covenant with Eshu that because I at liberty, it is not easy for me to find a he-goat and offer it to you here. But I'm giving you a he-goat now. I put the skull, I broke it up into powder because I can't carry it I can't bring a whole skull of a goat in my suitcase. They're going to seize it. So it is by wisdom, by understanding that I'm able to do the work of Ifa in the city and still able to get the results that we are supposed to, we get like we are in Africa. So I will use the broken skull in powder. And if you need that, I can prepare and ship them to you. Talking about shipping, I have found out, although it costs more, another way that I can ship things that will get to you quicker, which is, it costs more. Because they say it will take maybe between 3 to 5 days express shipping. Well, normally I do it regular airmail through a shipping company, and it goes through it's through the post office, and it takes time. They said it will take 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm hoping that some of the things that I've been sending to people will get to them. Normally before 2 weeks, it will get there, and we don't have any issue. But because of all the issues with traveling and coronavirus, and but they said shippings are still going on because their packages are not people. So if anyone needs the broken skull of goat, I can get some of the ones that I've kept and go even to the other owls and gather and break them up and pound them into crushed powder. And then you put them on the issue, and then you will kill a pigeon or a rooster on it. And the blood will activate that as a goat, making a covenant with issue that whenever you can afford it, we will give a heel goat. And then we can do that. We say, okay, let me give a goat to issue. Then we will give a goat. And then we will give it to those. I don't eat he goat. Then we give it to those who can eat it. They can cook it and feed the people. Because once they should get his blood, he's happy. Now, the cripple and the blind were able to eventually make their offering when they regain their sight, even though they are trying to deceive each other. When we cast a image, we will tell a person that they are going to overcome antagonizing enemy, because it did happen in Ifa. A image make his offering and he overcame his enemy. When we cast a image, we can ask a person that person, are they living? We ask them, are you living in the town where you were born? If they say no, the image says, if you go and live in the town where you were born, you will prosper there. If you plan on living in the town, especially a person, if they were being initiated and it was casted on their Igbodu, we will tell them, go and live in the town. And that person, a person that we cast an image for, is not a person that needs to be moving about. You need to settle someplace. And that place where you settle, you cast, you say, oh, this is where I would like to settle, this is where I would like to settle, this is where I would like to settle. You ask if I will tell you which one is the best place to settle, you settle there and you will be prosperous. Guaranteed. Because the Dimeji is enough for his owner to settle down and live in peace, happiness, prosperity, and everything. The Dimeji Tolotu Ejoko. Olotu is the person who owns, the owner of the butt. The pairs of butt is good enough for his owner to sit on. That's just a literal interpretation of Idimeji Tolotu Ejoko. As soon as we cast it and that comes, Idimeji Tolotu Ejoko, we say, if I say you will have a place to settle in your life, that if you are not living in the town where you are born, you should go make effort to go there and you will live. You will live prosperous. Now, according to Baba Agbola, he said, if we cast Idimeji for somebody and it comes in Ayewo, we will say this person has antagonizing enemy. But if he offers, he will overcome them. And they will surely overcome them. He said, Idimeji, that this a person is dreaming of much negative things, that if they make offering, their dreams will be clearer and they'll be more positive. If he said a person that will die, we cast a image for, that if we live in the town where he was born, that they are going to prosper in life. Because it's the Odu that cast for the people of Iresa when a Dimeji wants to go and settle in Iresa. Iresa is where the image was born. If a image, when we cast a image for a person and is a woman, we will tell the woman that if you have a husband, to be respectful of your husband, not to be not to fight with the husband when they want money from a husband. If you want to take money from him, or you want him to do something for you, if he's saying no, I don't have it, do not fight to get it. And because if we do, the head of such husband will be fighting against the woman. The head will fight against it. Our head is a number one protector of us. Our head is number one. Our number one. What do I call it? If something behind you, a person, an entity that is behind you that nobody else can see. Only those who can see aura might say, "Oh yeah, they see your aura. They see that you have a head that is strong." And if they are negative people, they will be antagonizing you. But if they don't know that you are a person who anoints your head regularly, your head will. When two butt head, he said. That's why we say, okay, butt head with me. Let's see whose head is strong. It's not figurative or really say butt head. But no. Spiritually, butting head with another person, you anoint your head regularly. You say, "My Ori, fight for me. Do not let this person overcome me." They're always challenging me, undermining my efforts for Ori to exonerate you. They will surely go down and fight because you have the ashe in your mouth. Your ashe, the ashe that the sun has is what he used to spread across the earth. The ashe that the fire has is what he used to burn things and burn it up. The ashe of the python is in the mouth of the python. A person who fight the python must surely, if you step on the python, you will see the python. You can do everything with the python around your neck, take it around, everything with. But if you step on his tail, you will surely know that's the python. So you see people hanging on with python. Those people must usually have snake charmers. They always have antidotes. They might have antidote in form of a charm where the snake might not bite them, or if the snake bite them, the antidote will work against the poison of the snake. But that they're so powerful, that's why they're carrying a python around. No, it is nothing. The python does not do anything to anything. It sits there waiting for his food. When a mouse, a rat, or any rodent come around, it strikes on it. The rodent will still run away. It doesn't die right away. But after he's gone and gone and gone everywhere, he's still coming back to die at the base of the python. Ogundameji says that when we get there, we will is the Yodu that Eledumare used to create the earth. And it's the Yodu that cast for the python. That's when a person that will cast Ogundameji for, we say they are going to sit in one place and be walking, and all prosperity will flow to them there. So the ashe that's in the mouth of the python is in his mouth, that he used to do things, he used to overcome anything. So when we pray to our head, we use it to challenge, to fight for us, to protect us. Talking about a woman that we cast a image for, we will tell them, do not fight with your husband regarding money, finances. Do not fight with your husband that they must give you money or support you. And if he doesn't do it right away, you are fighting. And not tell it secrets. Don't expose the secrets of financial of your husband out. Because if you do, the head of that husband will be fighting such a person. When we cast a image, we will say that. When we cast a image, we say a person should go and live, that he should go and live where the person is born. When we cast a image, Baba Agbola, he says when we cast the image, Ifá nígbà tí a dá ìdíméjì, Ifá ní ẹni tí ó dá Ifá yìí, Ifá ní kó máa ṣe òtítọ́, that we should always speak the truth and not be deceiving people, because it will have repercussion if you don't speak the truth. It is a Dimeji Odu of a gungun that goes to Ado. When a gungun came to Ado, a gungun is what we used to represent the ancestors. When he came to the town of Ado, and he does not go inside the town, he just stays outside the walls. You know, Ado, according to our history, is the Portuguese who give the account of the city of Benin. That's Ado. The city of Benin has a wall around it, a wall that is greater than the wall of China, destroyed and broken down. The wall of the town, the empire of Benin, was greater than that of the wall of China that people are revering today. But once our heritage is already turned into much and covered up, and people have to relearn new things, and they could never learn, they could never teach us the right way. The only thing they teach us in their language is the Bible. Somebody sent me an information, which is really true, that the Bible was interpreted into our languages in Africa. For the chemistry, philosophy, geology, all these different disciplines will never be interpreted into our language, because our people have to interpret it. They don't understand our language, but since our people were never taught, so if we have our own philosophy and all the history, chemistry, and all those things in our own language, if we are our own thing and we create it and publish it for our own reading, then we can consume it and use to create things. So our people, they don't understand why. I was this last week, I was I went to take a course on natural medicine, learning all the different areas of alternative medicine, because our country now wants to involve alternative medicine in the healing process, not the allopathic medicine of the orthodox regular one only, which is already so being used in your land. That is how I access all different information, even more than the ones I already have, to increase. And we are being now admitted into the School of Natural Medicine. I've been swearing an oath to always abide by. So we'll be called doctors. We're doctors of natural medicine. In Nigeria, in our state, is only a few states in all the 36 states, only 2 or 3 states are now in it. So we are lucky in Ondo State. The government is setting up a farm, normally, which we naturally do. We do it as a priest of Ifa. If you go to the back of my house, there are lots of those plants that we use around. Okay, there's a plant right here for high blood pressure. This plant, you see that plant there in front of the house? That one we use spiritually. They all have spiritual use, and they also have physical use, or they have chemicals that we use to take care of ailments at the back of the house all around. I said we naturally do that, and just the interaction and the testing, and well, after we did everything and they give us exams and stuff, I was called that I have distinction, and I was given a certificate. So I'm now a natural doctor, just certified natural doctor of natural medicine with the School of Natural Medicine of Nigeria. So we learn how we can put all the plants, how we tincture them, how to turn them into powder, and buy equipment to make them into capsules, so that what we do, we can ship it worldwide and have it be recognized our country in Nigeria, and always, because normally we just pack it and we prepare it and pack it in our own little way so that people can use it, and it's working. make it into soaps, make it into oil, that we can use. So they want to recognize that. That's why they started this program, which is good. Now, a dimage says a person that we cast a dimage for will be prosperous if they speak the truth. Ifa is already preaching that all the time, that it's true, speaking the truth, that we can gain the blessings that if Eledumare has in stock for us, blessings of our destiny. It's true by speaking truth. Ifá pé ènìyàn pé kí ènìyàn rúbọ, Ifá pé òun ò pe ire fún eléyìí nìyí. Ifá ti wí nìyẹn. Ifá pé kí ènìyàn lọ bọ orí ẹ̀, that you should go and pray to your ori when we have a dimage. Most odus, we always tell you to pray to ori. Pray to ori so that we can overcome whatever anything. That's why I always say at least once a week, once every 2 weeks, make effort. Minimum cola. Even if you don't have cola, touch cold water and touch your head and anoint your head. Put gin, anoint it. Put things and honey so that you can experience blessings of sweetness in everything that you do. Okay, Baba. Yes, sir. Ibi tí a gbé da ìdí méjì, Ifá pé òun pé ire, bí Ifá ti wí nìyẹn. Ifá says blessings with ìdí méjì. That Ifá pé kí eléyìí ó rúbọ, that you make offering. Ifá pé kí ó lọ rúbọ ayé, that you pray for prosperity, for money. Korubo aya, to pray to bring able to have a husband, or to pray to have a wife. Pé Iriama Ade púpọ̀ fún eléyìí ni bí Ifá ti wí nìyẹn. That a person that will cast a dimage for will have a blessings of a wife, or blessing if it's a man, that they will have a blessings of wife. That the wife is coming. Because when we talk about Idi, we're talking about Idi in my Yoruba language. It's talking about the private part, Idi, or the bottom that we can use to sit, or Idi, which can be negativity, blockage. The meaning of the Idi is that. So to prevent blockage, when we cast that, one must give offerings to Eshu. We give offerings to Ogun, because the path is never closed on Ogun. Ogun is the deity that comes. You see how I'm talking now? I'm giving a little bit of secret of the Odu so that you understand when you want for divination and cast, and certain Odu comes. Once you understand, nobody cannot just tell you any story. No. They must give you many of those. If they're going to tell a story, they will tell you some of the stories so that you can pick inside it the one that really apply to you. The one that apply to you. If you say, if you can't say Edi Oturukon. Edi Oturukon. We know Oturukon is talking about wisdom. It says Edi Oturukon. Edi wa, Edi wo. Edi wo bi o dara gbe mi si. Say Edi, come. Edi look. Edi look at a good place to put me to. Is the one that divine for the pigeon when he was looking for a place to settle. Looking for a place to settle, the pigeon went to Awo, and Awo cast Ifa. Edi Oturukon came and said, you will be taken home by somebody who is wise, who knows a place to put you in, to go and make this offering. When he goes to make the offering now, I said, put the offering here on the farm. When they put the offering at the farm, the farmer comes, the pigeon comes and lay its egg there. When the farmer saw the egg now and say, I'm going to nurture this because the egg is very delicate. I would nurture this and protect it and not have anything happen to it. Not long, watching it every day, the farmer is coming to the farm, watching it every day. It now took, it now saw the pigeon, that the pigeon has hatched little babies, and he carried the babies and take it home. The pigeon, now, that's why we find the homing pigeon, where they can travel from here to there. They know that. The pigeon flies and see where the babies are, the chicks are, and goes to be nursing them there. That is how the pigeon came home and started living with humans. His counterpart, who did not, which is Adaba. Adaba is the sister of the pigeon. Now, Adaba, I don't know what name it's called. It's brown. It looks like a pigeon, a little smaller than pigeon, but can only have 1 or 2 children. And they have it in the forest. And sometimes the wind will come and just blow the egg down. Because
the ground doves. The
doves? The
ground
doves, yes.
The brown ones.
Yes. The brown ones, ground doves. They look like the pigeon, a little smaller, the same shape, the same beak, everything. Because he refused to offer, it should make the children of the dove not be able to grow into old age. So that's why the doves are very few compared to the pigeon. And the pigeon found a home. So, interpretation of an Odu. Edi Oturukman. Oturukman means wisdom. Edi means a place to settle. And we say, oh, make offerings so that you can have a place to settle, because you're a person that's moving about. You are moving from place to place. Because when you cast and you know the Odus, if I will bring the right Odu into your mind, and you will say it, and the person will say, oh, that is so true. And they will see that their problem is solved. Because they've been moving from place to place. They don't have prosperity. They don't have good. They don't feel settled. Like I'm living here after so long. They know maybe their job is lost. Maybe they have to go again. And they say, oh, with all this problem, let me go and find what is causing this problem. Okay, Ifa says you need to settle in one place. You need to, and you go back. Are you thinking about a place to settle? He says, I've been thinking about Vancouver. I've been thinking about Ottawa. I've been thinking, okay, let us cast and figure out which one will be best for you. That's why Ifa is the ultimate solution to our problems. Ifa is the ultimate solution. Embracing Ifa, embracing Orunmila, knowing his stories and dedicating ourselves to his path will lift us up, will give us, because when you don't, a person who doesn't know where they are going, if they ask for direction, they will get there quickly. They will get there safely. They will not be roaming about, walking around, not knowing where they are going and wasting time. Ifa will not allow us to waste time. Ifa will allow us to get to where we need to go and be able to gather our resources and harness it in a way that will help us. That is the meaning of prosperity. It doesn't mean we have to have it. I mean, those who are rich and have lots of money, some of them might not have peace of mind. Some of them might be sick. They are always troubled with worrying about their money, worrying about somebody ripping them up, worrying about it's going down. Their resources never going down because they want to maintain a certain status and stuff. Ifa is the one that gives us content, make us content. To be content means not to be worry-free. And it told us, Ifa always tell us, and I can assure you that all of you, I will not hear sad news over your life, because we are on this path to really live our life to its fullest. The ear of an owl does not hear sad news. I will never hear sad news about you. That, oh, I'm in this situation. And any issue that we have, once we are fervent in prayers and we are appeasing our Ori, thinking of the ancestors, thinking about the deities, okay, issue is here, let me pray to Ogun. Ogun, clear this obstacle before me. Issue, turn this negativity, turn them into blessings. Orunmila, I am your child. You are the one. The meaning of Ifa is our ancestral guardian soul. Our ancestral guardian soul. Like I said to you before, I said, the first thing we do in the morning, once you wake up, you realize, oh, I'm alive again. I give thanks to Eledumare, the creator. Nobody knows him. He has no shrine. But he created all things. He's the source of all belief in all things, that there's one deity that is great God that is greater than everything. We give thanks to Eledumare. We give thanks to the ancestors. We give thanks to our Ifa, Onumila, which is the second in command to Erumale, that give us the wisdom to know that, okay, we must do this if we want to receive this. We give thanks to our ancestors, and we give thanks to our Ori, which means we ourselves are God. I mean, it doesn't even tell us to go and give thanks to Ogun, because Ogun is just a protector. We pray to him to say, I'm on my path now. Ogun, do not clear it ahead of me. Do not let things happen. The three deities who made the tradition is Eledumare, our ancestral guardian soul, our Ifa, our ancestors who brought us to this earth, and our Ori, because we ourselves are like God, a deity. That's why we must not ignore Ori, because your Ori is a deity. And we must respect other people's Ori, especially those of our husbands. A person who is your brother or sister is not going to be, or even your mother or your father will not be an antagonizing enemy, because inside the house of Eledumare is where Elenini was created. Excuse me. Elenini is the antagonizing enemy, not saying literally that our mother is our enemy, that our father is our enemy, or our son is our enemy, but they can do things because of their own individual selfishness that will go against your own head. But that's why we pray to our head to continue to protect us. If they are contained with spirits that are being used by negativity to bring us down, our Ori fight for us. That's when Ogun come and fight for us. That's why because Orunmila will never hurt anybody himself. All the other deities do the work, dirty work for him. That's why he advised us to be praying to them. Shall go fight for us. Oluweri, Olokun, fight for us. I always use an analogy. I say a person who is a child of Eledumare, because Eledumare has created us for blessings, for goodness. Now, if an entity now comes and said they are going to bring you down, and you are a special child of Eledumare, will Eledumare not fight for you? They will make such an entity who wants to bring you down to be lacking. So I pray that our enemies will not be able to overcome us. Negativity will not be able to overcome us. That we will be above all things. The Ajoguns, many of them, they came to this earth to afflict those who are not living right. If anything happened to us that is in negative form, it must be because we have been not in balance, in equilibrium, with our destiny. Sometimes it could be something that we are eating. It could be if we are eating a taboo, then we're going to be sick. If we are doing things or with a mindset that is not according to how we are supposed to live, it will alter our whole, which is our whole body. We are not in balance. That imbalance over many years now can turn into physical sickness, which that's why in the tradition, after we make ebo to reverse it, we now use medicine and herbs and plants to realign it. And it is truly in herbal healing, in the tradition, the herbs we take goes to the root of the problem to get it solved, so that it will not surface again. Once we have, if it is a food that we are eating that we are not supposed to eat, that is going against our body, the acidity, alkalinity, I'm talking in terms like a medical doctor now, because I learned a few more things, which is what we've always practiced. We always practice that. Oh, if I said you must not eat mushroom, that mushroom has toxin in it. If I say you must not eat anything that does not grow out of the ground, because mushroom grows on top of, it's like a fungi. It grows on some, and my old, if I said literally that I must not eat mushroom. So and before I love mushroom, not like while I was in Canada, but once I initiated and said I'm not gonna eat mushroom anymore, I just stay away totally from it. And I know that I'm not eating the taboo, the sweet yam. I cannot eat it, and I just stay away from it. I'm not supposed to wear certain clothes, and I stay away from that. That is why what he gained from Ifa. Edimage said we must speak the truth, which is what Ifa preaches to. Speaking the truth, because when you don't speak the truth, you must have color the truth to make it look like the truth and not the truth. When the real truth comes down, we will have to now find a way to present ourselves again. And we have said it this way. Well, now it is this way. Then we lose faith. Then we are not a truthful person. Then the person has distrust for us, who we are dealing with. That is why Ifa tells us ahead of time. Because he said, even if a life travels 20 years, one day truth will come to it. Because the day that the truth comes out now becomes the day that the truth catch up to it. Then what about the lie of 20 years that we've been living? Yeah. So Edimegi, it really strongly says we must speak the truth. Edimegi says we must not expose our partners, if it's a woman, to her husband, and I believe to our husband, to a wife too, that we must not expose financial difficulties, so that the Ori will not fight Ori, because everybody's stages of spirituality or travel of life different. Edimage is a very strong Odu. Edimage is actually an Odu that actually, like I said, help you all because you are living in the city. Say, kukunduku is a sweet potato. Kukunduku is a diviner of Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife is our cradle of creation of Yoruba people. It's your cradle of creation because you're a child of Ifa, you are Yoruba. It is your cradle where your spirit is actually come to this earth. We were taken from there to where you are now. That's physicality. But in spiritual form, your soul is okay. That's where Orunmila came and preached. Orunmila was born in Okejeti, is in Ekiti. I'm still thinking one day when life gets settled for us, we will take a journey and go to that's what we should all do. I'm encouraging them. We are building for it. I'm building for it. When my people come, where will they be here as a space? I'm building a space. Oh, that's where you stay and be comfortable. There's the food you will eat, and the food is there. There's the plant you will use to nourish yourself, and we are growing it. People who are going to uplift us are still there. You are the ones that are coming to liberate Africa. You are the ones that are coming to liberate us in Africa, because we have been totally, and you taken away. We know it's bad at the time. It is for our own blessing, because they have already darkened us. They have they cover us with black clothes with no light going through it, where we cannot even see anything. My people are blinded. But we have seen the world. We know you guys are there, and you are the ones coming to really take the shroud over us, so that we can truly see that after all these years, they are saying it now. You know how long, when my people, I just laugh inside me. When I went to this program and people they are saying, oh, the world have been using it, now we should use it. Meanwhile, we are using it, but they don't count you as anything because you are idol worshiper traditionally. But many people who are now Christians are now saying, oh, I'm a herbalist, I only follow the plants. I only use the properties of the plant. Meanwhile, they forget their own head. They could just, maybe the person could just have come up from doing some dirty things or something that is not worthy, but they go touch the plant and they say it's going to work. It's not going to work. The plants are sacred. We know the name we call them. Osani taught us. Only Osani knows the plants. He cannot say, I don't argue with them. I just say, true. And we don't give them any secret. We only pass our secret to those who are initiated, who are part of the Orisha tradition, who they name to be labeled to be idol worshippers. You are not an idol worshiper. You are following your destiny, following your ancestors. No, because they've savored us from our ancestors. They make people forget. Meanwhile, the people in the other world don't forget the ancestors. Abraham Lincoln is still being, all of them are still being cherished, even though they are slave masters who have committed atrocities and do great, terrible things. But my people, they have been taught to forget their own ancestors. So we cannot get the resource, we cannot get the blessings from this earth through their brainwashed, through our being brainwashed. And, and if I said it, it says they will ignore their own, and other people's heritage is what they are going to be harnessing and be uplifting as if they are great. One of our professors at this course said one thing. He said, he traveled to Jerusalem on a pilgrimage. When he went to Jerusalem, they went to River Jordan. He went to River Jordan, and one person was in there. Running straight into the River Jordan is so polluted. And this person get there and get a plastic container, he get the water, and he start to drink it. And they were looking at him and says, you better not, this is polluted. He said, the blood of Jesus. He said they had to carry him to the hospital the next day for the, like, why through their pulling, he will never do it again in his life because of his ignorance. Blood of Jesus. Polluted water is blood of Jesus because it's in River Jordan in their whatever country, Jerusalem. So I just laugh. I said, I laugh. But here, I pray that the wisdom of our ancestors will not leave us. I pray that we will achieve and reap the reward of our destiny by living right. It's in total darkness now. I know you can hardly see me, but you can hear me. At this time, I might have to move so that at least you can see my face. I hope it doesn't cut off. So I pray that all our blessings will reach us and we'll be blessed. Maybe we can have a few questions back in here.
Baba, yes, I'm asking because yesterday was my anniversary of my Ifa.
Yes.
So I just a comment, because you know how you say is the herb, so we know Ifa is the world. Ifa is in everything. So when I made omiero, but plants that were accepted, it was some that I have that luckily someone sent to me, and they're, I have African, I'm very careful with it because it's not really meant for climate. But then I use some plants that I have just in my garden because I grow herbs. And Osni accepted it.
Yes.
And I wash my skin. So I just a comment to say that, wherever we are, Ifa is as well,
Yes.
The intention, of what we are trying to do is there. So,
yes. That is what matters. I am so happy for you that you went ahead and do what you need to do with your Ifa, because remembering and taking care of such thing, no waiting, is the intention that what matters. That's what Ifa teaches us. That's what Orunmila teaches us. You are able to understand that, yes, I can gather plant, I can gather plant. I have before, but this one that the one that you had before will activate the ones that you just harvested around. The one that you just have around, we activate the one that you have before. They are chemical content and spiritual content is what you are mixing together to clean Ifa now becomes renewed. You keep a little bit of it, put it aside, the rest, you wash yourself. You wash your ori, wash your children, you wash the ikin. After you wash the ikin, you keep some of it, you offer to the ikin and pray to it. You give it cola, you give it gin. If you have a pigeon, you give it blood. The next day, you clean it out of the blood. You can leave it there a few days. But if you are a Jiogbe, once in a while, sometimes I let it be 2 or 3 days, but I always clean it and take it out. Clean it doesn't mean you are going to wash it with water. I saw a Cuban priest. I went to do a kanogba, which means some officiating priest for them. And I saw them after they did, we did all the offerings, put palm oil, put all the blood, goat, put everything, cola, all the prayers and food and everything. The next day, they take the ikin and put it under the sink. No, you cannot touch it with water. Do not wash it. Just wipe everything. The only water is the omiero. And you clean it off first. And then one day, we must make it, we'll set up the camera and be watching. And I can put you through. If you want to offer to your Ifa, we can all agree to use something of blood. We start with something without blood, where we have the cola with gin. Same way we pray to our Ori, how to pray to Ifa. Praying with each of the odus, of the major odus, because they all have meaning. The Jiogbe says, I will live long, I will prosper, is the king of all the odus. Like I must overcome enemy. Or Yakumeji said, death will to be away from me. Says you have displaced death. Remember the odus that help us to overcome death. Iworimeji says I will have a place to settle. That nobody will push me away from my space on this earth. That my Ori will continue to support me. Edimeji said I'm living in the city, that I must prosper in the city, that I have a good place to settle in my life, that I will overcome all negativity, that I'll be prosperous. Or Barameji said the head of my mother will support me, the head of my father will support me, that I will overcome all challenges. Or Koromeji, that Ifa will continue to be the wall around me, will continue to uplift me and safeguard me. And then as we go through the Odus, and some of the things we are learning about what the Odu did is what you will use in the prayers. And when you recite you pray with all the 16 major Odus, you pray with your own Odu. And what the Awos tell you that you will be rewarded with, you pray with that Odu to continue to guide you and everything. And then after you do the prayer, you cast the kola. You cast the kola. Ifa has chosen, you put it on Ifa. You put the rest in a plate that you're going to share with the people around you. You put honey, you put every salt, you put everything that you need to add to Ifa. Water from the ocean is very good. Water from the sea is always good. Coconut water is always good. To put in the omiero. Yeah, those things are good when you put omiero. You keep those, when you travel home and you come, you bring sea water. The lake water can be like sea water. Ocean water would be like with salty water. Can be that in the omiero where you have already grated the plant. And then when you prepare the omiero, you pray to Osanyi too and give it his cola and give it his gin, because you're activating it by praying to Osanyi. And then you use that water you put palm oil in it, you put coconut water. If you find a snail, you put it in it, because snail means softening of life. There are many things that we put in the omiero. And then you use that water to wash each of the ikins. Wash them. The first one is the marked one, which is the Odu. The ones that we don't cast, Olue, you put it there. You wash it first. Then you start by taking 5 first. You take another 5. That's 10. You take another 3. You take another 2. You take one single one, which is the last one. You call it which means for nobody to try you on this earth, to try you with medicine, that anybody that wants to challenge you, if I to knock them down, pray with them. And then the rest, the extras, you pray, you wash them together and put them. Once you have washed them there, then you pray to them and give Ifa the offering. And if you're using blood, then you kill the blood at last, give it gin. After you pray, you cover it up. Whatever you've used to pray to it, you prepare it and cook the food. And the next day, you come and greet Ifa. Even if that day you can sleep close to Ifa and pay attention to your dreams, you will see when you do your. I'm impressed that yes, you are. That is the way to do it. Every year, you say this is my anniversary. You must make effort to pray to it. And then, if you leave it for 3 days, then you clean it the next day. You cover it up there. On the third day, now you cast it. Once you cast, if you cast and you see the odus, you see the odu. If you already gone to the forest of Odu. If you haven't got to the forest of Odu, you cannot cast. If you've gone to the forest of Odu, then you cast, we interpret the Odu, and then you make all the offerings. And that's your annual thing. If you have been to the forest of Odu, which is Itefa, Isefa is the first hand. Itefa is where you have sat and displayed, you have sat in the forest of Odu and cast. I know they take you to the forest of Odu. The Cubans don't do that. They say women cannot receive Ifa and go to the forest of Odu. But here you can, except you will not see the Odu. We will be blindfolded. We'll be guiding you on how to cast it. Once you cast it, we help you move your hand and you mark it on the tray. Then once you are done, we write it all down and tell you. But you cannot look at the divining tray. You can't. Because according to Orunmila, Odu was the wife of Ifa, and Ifa was wife of Orunmila. And a woman cannot see Odu. Odu does not allow. Orunmila brought Odu home, and nobody was allowed to see her. So one day, somebody was spying. One of his wife went and be spying in the room where Odu was kept to see what is Orunmila, who Orunmila kept here, because we are preparing food and put it there all the time. We put it by the door, Orunmila take it inside. We feeding this person and we don't know. We want to know. They're inquisitive. They opened the door and Odu came out, and many of Orumila's children died and his wives. And Orunmila had to, he says, my people have done wrong. Then he went looking for Odu and found Odu in the forest and begged Odu to come back. Odu said no. Because he begged her to come and stay with her. And Odu already warned him that people of this world will not allow me. They cannot live by my rules. The women will not. So Orunmila married Odu. They never had any children, but it was the one that's bringing Orunmila the wisdom, the secret, which is the Odu that we are interpreting. So that's why women don't see it. Some people still believe here that we cannot, but most people in Yoruba land say, yes, women can be with Ifa, Yanifa. It doesn't mean to be the wife of Ifa that will make you Yanifa. No, you can be a person that is initiated to Ifa, but you cannot. You can cast the Okwele, but they cannot mark the Odu on the tray because they must not be able to see it. When they cast the Okwele, they will interpret, they will make offerings, do everything, but they cannot see Odu. So even the Igba Odu is where we put, there are two different Ifas. The ones that have Igba Odu, the one that has Elegan, which is the one we are, the ones I have is not, I don't carry the Igba Odu, but it doesn't mean life is not still going to be good for us. All of them are the same. It just go further with a form of secrecy, which I don't know of. When people ask me, I say, I don't know about it because I was not initiated that way. I don't follow the path that I was initiated with. That is the truth that Ifa said we must always speak. So I congratulate you. I pray that you live long. You'll be able to do it next year again. Better, even. Ashe. Any other question? Baba Ifa Kayode.
Oh, he's not. He wasn't able to
come today. He's he has some family errands that he needed to run.
Okay. Baba Ifa Shegun. Ifa Shegun. Maybe
Baba.
Maybe if you have any question, I was able to find many things about blood disorder.
Yeah.
We will talk later.
Ashe.
We will talk. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. I will share because some people are coming to me by 8 o'clock. But for now, so we will take time to talk. But I already have access so much things that we'll be able to help you. It'll be good. You'll be happy to hear all those news. And I'll be happy when you start, harnessing certain things that will make life even better.
Ashe.
We'll talk later.
Benny.
How? Any other question?
No, we won't keep you, Baba.
No. I'm still 5 minutes with you. I'm not rushing. Ifa first.
Yeah.
Me, anything with Ifa, I don't even. Everything Ifa is first. Orunmila is. I know what he has done in my life. What he has done in my life because I know where I was heading before. I know what I was before. I know what I had been. Nothing else can. And Egungun, the Orishas. I know what I have done in my life. So I hold them in highest esteem. People are saying, "Oh, you've been to Canada, you've been overseas and stuff." Say, why are you so traditional? I said, why else will I be? It's my heritage. I value it. It's what makes me who I am. And I see it in my life that, it makes me excel. I'm not like, I don't follow the white man's way.
Sure.
We have to relearn here,
Yes, but it's slowly.
Yeah.
We were able to, through this, because, with this tradition, we were able to bring our people back into the city hall. Sister Inani Ayodele, with her, she made effort. And that was 2 years ago when we bring Egungun Baba Ifa Kayode, we bring that Egungun to dance in the city hall, in one of their meeting rooms. Egungun was dancing. We danced down the stairs, up into the front of the city hall. There was a festival going on. We interact with the people there, go to the crossroad with the Egungun and drums, and then walk back into the city hall and back to our space where we were having the ceremony. We had 3 days or 4 days of lecture there, talking about Orishas and all the things we must do. And then on the final day, we did an Egungun dance. So that is so, I feel so proud, so happy that the ancestors were able to give us that opportunity. And if we don't know Sister Yodele there, she will not be able to give us that opportunity. But it's the work that we did. We prayed to have their projects, their program be approved by the city hall, where she now has an office. She's a director there, and she has an office where Black people's math affairs are part of the things that they must put in their budget. And that was an effort, the ancestors. I'm proud of that. That's one of the accomplishments. And I know anytime Sister Yodele, one of the 100 women who are recognized in Canada as one, and there are many. My mother there listening to me now is one of those women that are recognized in Canada as accomplished women. That makes me proud that I know them. It makes me proud that I know such women. And I'm grateful to Ifa, I'm grateful to Egungun, I'm grateful to the Irumales that it make me walk the path where I can know these great women. I tell my people here, I have the book. Daria is online. Daria?
No, he's teaching.
He's not here.
No,
his mom is who I'm talking about. His mom is another revered woman in Canada. I recognize her. I know, and I'll continue to pray for these women. I pray for you all that you will accomplish your destiny. We must continue to follow this path, and this path will give us joy, it will give us happiness, we will be able to overcome all our negativities. And I pray that we will do this in the name of Eledumare, in the name of our ancestors, that Ori will open the path for us, and we will be filled with blessings that are destined for us, that negativity will not pull them away from us. I pray so. By the power of Eledumare, we will continue to flourish, we will continue to grow. Where negativity is destroying people and killing people, sickness is killing them, we will not be counted in. Ashe Edumare.
Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Baba.
Go ahead.
I was saying bye.
Okay, bye. You have next week again, and then we'll continue on. The next Odu after AD is Obara. It's Obara. Obara Meji. Yes, Obara Meji. 2 Obaras. May the head of our mom continue to support us. Obara was another priest of Ifa who did great things. You know, a person who has Obara must not be a person that drinks alcohol. Alcohol is not, you know. So we will talk. We will continue on.
Okay.
Mr. Baba Ifa Shegun, I appreciate your keeping us all together, keeping it ahead. I so appreciate it. Then when I was at my course, when I got your message, and I thought, okay, I am so happy that I'm only coming back Saturday, and I can be ready for this today. So I'm happy that it doesn't interfere with my course didn't interfere with our talks on Orisha and Ifa. Anyways, we will continue on in the continuing weeks. We will talk again. You have a blessed day. May our meeting again be as sweet as honey. Ashe.
Ashe.
Odavo.
Good.
Thanks.